Thank you. Thank you for listening. Um, I want to go into our next part, but I want to make sure you listen to one and two, part one, part two. Did God make lesbian, gay, the alphabet? Just a lot of alphabet. And there's so many more probably, and they're going to be, who knows if that's going to continue to increase. But did he make them that way? I don't think he did. It wasn't his intention. But it did happen. And this major part right here that I'm going to discuss is where it started. But I don't think it's just that. So it's a combination of reasons why people now are attracted to the opposite sex, and I mean the same sex, and bisexual, and have two, and oh my goodness. So I want to go ahead and tell you what happened. And I don't have all the answers and how it worked out. And I'm not just throwing a cop-out answer here. I think this really is true. I think when it says in Genesis how he said, and it was good, and he made them very good at all that, and was a purpose, and he states his purposes, multiply and all that, like I said the last time. But then what happened in Genesis 3, there was a tempter who came in, who will be another big part later of our discussions on why is there such a deviant behavior or that went outside of what God really designed and all that. But then what happened is this horrible thing, and this is like really sad, the fall of man. I mean, super, super, super sad for us. And that is the fall of Adam and Eve, and we fell with them. Well, what happened in the fall is curses happen, death entered, sickness, all the nature just kind of, not completely, it's still glued together, but nature happened, which included the human being. And we were alienated from the life of God. I believe Adam and Eve had a great feeling of constant presence of God, and it's all speculation there, but I really, definitely, they were cut off from life. They died spiritually. What does that mean? There's a lot there. And then I believe what happened is the propensity towards good and everything, and their natures just kind of shriveled up more inside, and it just kind of died. And now it can be molded in a way that's not healthy and not good and not according to the design of God. So what are you saying, Gordon? That I think that all of us have certain tendencies towards temptations and sins and everything that we're very susceptible to. We're very vulnerable, feeble, weak, and we can be persuaded towards those things through influence and through other things. But even our very natures got kind of worked out. Look at the defects and the handicaps, and all of us basically we have disordered sexuality. All of us have a problem with sexuality in some way. I think some more than others. Some are really geared to a particular thing, and then some are very they have a tendency for some fetish, or they want, it's just too increased. Think of guys, by the way. Particularly, I'm a guy. I could talk in that area a little bit, but there's such a strong passion, visually leading to a stimulation that if you really release them from all boundaries and all controls and all restraint, and their human nature becomes animal-like and beast-like, and like they wouldn't be restrained. And that's why we need a book. That's why we need the scripture to guide us and give us boundaries and everything else to help it. And you understand what I'm saying? I think you do. But, there would be just a total chaos of, I'll be blatant with you, rape and adultery like crazy. Oh, there's already adultery going on, but don't you see that that's the nature in that person? And then there's perverted natures that weren't supposed to be like that. I don't think it was under the design of God. So I'm trying to figure out how to say it. It's swelled up, like different things that got screwed up. It got torn that way. All right, think about just people who are born, and from birth it seems like they're born for kleptomaniacism, or they're kleptomaniacs. They want to steal just because that's their nature to steal. Did God intend that for it to happen? But that's how they are, so let's just let them go with it. Let them do it. No. They want to steal without reward. They don't care about what the reward is. They just have some propensity towards it. It's a drive. Or that could be other things. A person, I understand that you could drink a drink and then become a drunkard. I mean, their body aren't able to handle it. Some people can handle drink like it. So there's one thing after the other. It doesn't have to be just sexually. It could be food, and there's an appetite towards this or that, or some strange appetites out there. Taboo stuff out there. So what is that? Was that God's intent? We need to find out what our Maker really intended. That's important. So that's in the past, the original. But the fall of man threw all that down, just slammed us. And we could get into other videos about why did God allow it to happen. I think there's good reasons for all of it. It's amazing. But I am saying we're in a frail position here. We're in a position of gullible, and we can just be persuaded with this and thinking I'm that, and from very young age. And even if the nature, for example, is an attraction towards the same sex, which is not God's design, did God make him that way? I personally believe he did not intend that to happen, but because of the fall of man, it's a wreck. I mean, when I say fall, we're not just talking about a little fall, you scrape your knee. We're talking about a devastating degradation happen where our natures are really messed up. Now, I don't believe the whole thing is all messed up completely, because there's I'll call it a residue or still a likeness of God. God looks at us and we're made in his image and we're valuable, very precious. And there's a lot of good that people do and all that. So it could have gone way, way extreme. Of course, when you give into those things, like I think that's happening nowadays, I think it becomes really scary. All right, so I hope that's good. I really want to go into this next video and talk about something very important. Please listen to the next one in the beginning of it. All right, I hope that helps. I think you understand what I'm saying. The fall has really corrupted our natures and everything. All right, good.